Hello and welcome to the Koala English Podcast. I'm Victoria, and today we're talking about one of the best ways to experience the great outdoors in Australia, camping. Camping is more than just sleeping in a tent. It's about slowing down, reconnecting with nature, and stepping away from screens and the stress of daily life. In this episode, we'll explore why camping is so popular in Australia, how to prepare for a trip, what to pack, and how to camp safely and respectfully so your experience is both comfortable and memorable. If you've ever dreamed of sleeping under the stars, waking up to fresh air, and escaping the busy pace of everyday life, this episode is for you. I'll guide you through everything you need to know, from choosing your first tent to safely putting out your last campfire, so you can feel confident planning your own Australian camping adventure. It's your chance to step away from the 9-to-5 routine, get off the grid, and experience something genuinely special. To start, let's answer a big question. Why is camping such a huge part of Australian life? Camping is about much more than simply sleeping in a tent. Think of it as your opportunity to reconnect with nature, with your loved ones, and even with yourself. One of the biggest benefits is affordability. Camping is one of the cheapest ways to travel, but just as importantly, it gives you the chance to disconnect from technology. You can put down your phone, shut the laptop, and swap endless scrolling for stargazing. Australia's landscapes make camping especially appealing. One weekend you might be on a beach, the next in a forest, or even out in the desert. Many of these incredible locations are much closer to major cities than people expect, making camping an easy and rewarding escape. It's the perfect recipe for creating lasting memories. Of course, a great camping trip doesn't happen by accident. You can't completely wing it. A little planning is the secret ingredient that makes the experience comfortable, safe, and stress-free. A simple 4-step checklist can make all the difference. First, research your campsite and make sure it has what you need. Second, check the weather carefully because conditions in Australia can change quickly. Third, be aware of busy times like school holidays when campsites fill up fast. And finally, book ahead whenever possible to avoid disappointment. There's nothing worse than driving for hours only to arrive and see a no vacancy sign. Another important detail that can make or break your trip is access. When researching a campsite, always check the access roads. Some of the most beautiful, remote locations require a 4-wheel drive, so it's essential to confirm that your vehicle can actually get there. Now let's talk about camping gear. If you're new to camping, this part can feel overwhelming, but the truth is, you don't need to buy loads of expensive equipment. To get started, you only need the essentials. Your core camping kit includes a tent for shelter, a mattress or sleeping mat for comfort, a sleeping bag suited to the weather, a torch or flashlight for nighttime, and plenty of water. With just these items, you're ready to go. When you're a beginner, there's no need to have a full professional setup straight away. A smart approach is to start simple and camp near a town. That way, you can set up your basic tent and enjoy meals at a local pub or cafe. It keeps things easy, fun, and allows you to slowly build your camping gear over time. One thing that cannot be stressed enough is the importance of sleep. A good night's rest is the key to enjoying camping. Even if the daytime temperature is warm, Australian nights can become surprisingly cold. Packing extra blankets is a good idea, and bringing your own pillow from home may seem small, but it can make a huge difference to your comfort. Once you've arrived at your campsite, the next big decision is where to pitch your tent. Just like in real estate, it's all about location. Before putting in the first tent peg, do a quick safety check. Choose flat ground so you're not rolling around all night. Avoid riverbeds and low areas that could flood if it rains. Set up well away from roads, and always look up to make sure you're not under dead trees or unstable branches. Camping also comes with a shared responsibility known as the Camper's Code. These are the rules, both written and unwritten, that focus on respecting nature and other campers. The most important rule is leave no trace. This means leaving your campsite exactly as you found it, or even cleaner. Don't disturb plants or wildlife, and always take all your rubbish with you when you leave. Being a considerate camping neighbour is just as important. Sound travels easily in quiet, natural areas, so keep noise levels low, especially at night. Give others their space and take time to read and follow the specific rules of each campground. One essential piece of Australian safety vocabulary is the term fire ban. When a fire ban is in place, it's a legal restriction that means no open fires are allowed under any circumstances. Always check for fire bans before lighting a campfire. If fires are permitted, the most important rule is to fully extinguish them. A fire must be completely out, not warm, not smouldering, but cold to the touch. Use plenty of water to be absolutely sure. To wrap things up, it's interesting to look at how camping culture in Australia compares with other countries. In Australia, there is a strong focus on fire safety, wildlife protection, and strict national park rules. In the UK, camping is much more regulated. Wild camping is mostly illegal, and preparing for rain is essential. In the US, camping is often a large social experience, with huge campgrounds, many RVs, and a strong focus on facilities and amenities. From planning and packing to setting up camp and respecting nature, you now have the basics you need for an incredible camping experience. So really, the only question left is the most exciting one. When are you going? Before we finish, let me walk you through a few useful ideas and expressions that will really help you sound more natural when talking about camping, especially if you're traveling or chatting with other campers. You'll often hear people say they want to get off the grid when they go camping. What they really mean is they want to step away from modern services and technology. No emails, no notifications, and sometimes no phone signal at all. For example, you might hear someone say, "We're heading off the grid this weekend, so don't expect any messages." In Australia, this idea is very popular because many campsites are far from cities and towns, which makes the experience feel more peaceful and refreshing. Another common expression is wing it. This means doing something without much planning. You might hear a friend say, "Let's just wing it and see where we end up." While that might sound fun, camping in Australia usually requires a bit more preparation. Weather can change quickly and campsites can fill up fast, so completely winging it isn't always a good idea. When planning a trip, you'll also hear people talk about the access road. This is simply the road that leads to the campsite. At a campsite entrance, someone might ask, "Does this access road require a four-wheel drive?" In Australia, many beautiful remote spots can only be reached with the right vehicle, so this question really matters. One very important phrase you'll hear in Australia is fire ban. This isn't just advice, it's a legal rule. When a fire ban is declared, all open fires are forbidden. You might hear a park ranger say, "There's a total fire ban today, so no campfires are allowed." Fire safety is taken extremely seriously in Australia because bushfires can spread very quickly, especially in hot, dry conditions. If fires are allowed, you may also hear the word smouldering. This describes a fire that looks like it's out but is still slowly burning underneath. A good camper might remind others by saying, "Make sure the fire isn't smouldering. It needs to be completely cold." This is a critical safety habit and something Australians are very careful about. And of course, one of the first things you'll do when you arrive is pitch a tent, which simply means setting it up. You might say, "Let's pitch the tent before it gets dark," or "This looks like a good spot to pitch a tent." Now, let's look at how camping culture changes depending on where you are. In Australia, camping is strongly connected to respect for nature. National parks have strict rules to protect wildlife and plants, and quiet camping is expected, especially at night. Loud music, generators, and fires are often restricted, and breaking the rules can lead to fines. In the United States, camping often feels more social. Large campgrounds are common, and many people travel in RVs with lots of equipment. You might hear someone say, "This campground has showers, power, and a store," which is very normal in the US. Fire rules still exist, but they vary depending on the state and the park. In the UK, camping is much more regulated. Wild camping is mostly illegal except in certain areas like parts of Scotland. Campsites are organised and often smaller, and weather preparation is essential. It's very common to hear campers say, "Make sure you pack for rain," because the weather can change quickly. By understanding these expressions and cultural differences, you're not just learning vocabulary, you're learning how camping really works in different parts of the world and how people naturally talk about it in everyday conversation. If you enjoyed today's episode, feel free to share your ideas or thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a future episode. Thanks so much for listening to the Koala English Podcast. I'm Victoria, and I'll talk to you again very soon.